Prom started the first year we started the Cuties. The Cuties was started to provide some social support for LGBTQ teens in town. There was no other group of that kind, and we know that queer teens are far more likely to attempt suicide and to attempt self-harm. And the research shows us that having one accepting adult can change those outcomes. So we worked with a group of teenagers in Great Falls that just wanted to have a group where kids could meet, have some safe adults, and also just have a place to meet other kids like them to hopefully develop friendships, and in creating that infrastructure, reduce the likelihood that we would lose any teens here to suicide. So we decided to do the open and affirming prom because we had a number of children who just didn't feel comfortable going to their school proms. You know, maybe they didn't feel comfortable going with a same-sex partner. Maybe they didn't feel comfortable wearing what they wanted to wear. And so we wanted to have a big social activity where they would have a chance to, dress up, dance with their friends, and have a really just normal prom, but that they knew was going to be in a safe environment. I think for many members of the queer community, our experiences with Christianity haven't been very positive. And I was kind of hesitant when Pastor Lynn first reached out to me and offered to provide refreshments. We had a conversation about what that would look like, and it felt a little risky to allow that kind of organization in. But Pastor Lynn promised me it wasn't an opportunity to proselytize. It was purely just to show some support for the kids, and that's what it has been ever since. It's meant a lot in a lot of ways, not only because teenagers love to eat, and anytime we're trying to gather them, food and drink is essential. But we also have parents that drop the kids off and they pick them up. And they always ask, oh my gosh, this is so good. How'd you get all the food? How did you do this? And that gives us an opportunity to say, hey, we got it from a church organization here in town. And what has come from that is parents that didn't know that there was a Christian faith community where their family would be accepted. And so it's opened the door for folks whose family are trying to navigate being supportive and still living in a Christian faith. And it's let them know that there's places in town that they're gonna be loved and not just tolerated, but accepted. And that's been just a huge, huge benefit to the families of these kids that we serve. And so to have a Christian church that is actively contributing to our efforts to support queer youth, that's an important counterbalance to all of the hate that we see. And it's not necessarily the job of non-Christians to be talking about how there are these good Christian churches out there, right? And what I have found in surveying over 100 churches in our community, we had less than 10 that were willing to openly affiliate with us, that were willing to openly say, we accept everyone, we let everyone participate fully in the sacraments, that are really and truly open and affirming. And so in Great Falls, to take that stance, you're in the minority. And doing what's right does not always make you popular. So I think how fast we get out of this scary part of the pendulum depends on how many organizations like this are willing to speak up and say what's right, even if they know it's not going to be wholly welcomed by everyone. The sad fact is, like you've mentioned, there's a lot of vitriol right now. This year at prom, we had probably triple the number of adult chaperones than we usually do, because unfortunately violence is something that we have to prepare for. And so it's not just that we have these awesome church ladies bringing us cupcakes, it's that we have all of these individuals from the church coming to an event that they know could put them in harm's way, and they're there anyway. And they're doing the safety drills with us and having to look where the emergency exits are, and they're taking the risks that we take to be there and support us, and they don't have to do that. And not a lot of organizations do, so it means a lot that they do. Unfortunately, the laws in Montana are a bit unclear right now. And I think that definitely impacted the organizations that wanted to visibly support or be visibly connected. We often get donations, which is wonderful, but anytime we get a donation, we have to ask, can we thank you for this publicly? And a lot of organizations aren't comfortable with that. They may support in private, but it's very different to publicly support the LGBTQ community. And so whenever I've asked, hey, can we put the church on a poster? Can we say thank you for this publicly? There's never been any hesitation. And that's a big move in Montana. That's a very clear commitment to not just supporting us privately, but loving us publicly. And I appreciate not just the support, but the public solidarity. That makes a huge difference.